You're watching the Weiss channel. Today, we're going to graph quadratic equations. Doesn't that sound difficult? Nah. Okay, so we're going to graph y equals negative x squared plus 2x plus 8. Okay, what you're going to do is you're just going to pick numbers to go in for x. Choose some numbers, okay? And the best way I can explain this is to think of factoring. What times what makes 8? And that makes a difference of 2, okay? So 4 times 2 is 8, right? 4 minus 2 is 2. So I'm going to use negative 2 and positive 4. And you're going to find that negative 2 makes 0 and positive 4 makes 0. In other words, when I put in negative 2 for x, negative 2 squared is positive 2. The negative of that is negative 2 squared is 4. The negative of that is negative 4. 2 times negative 2 is also negative 4. Negative 4 and negative 4 is negative 8 plus 8 is 0, right? So negative 2 makes 0, so I plot the point negative 2, 0. Okay. I plot the point 4, 0, because if I put 4 in for x, I also get 4, 0. I also get 0, okay? Then I will find, once I've got these 2 points, the points where they cross the x-axis, I'm going to get basically 2 points inside, in between, okay? So either choose negative 1 or 0 or 1 or 2 or 3, okay? So if I do negative 1, I'll get 5, okay? And in every single one of these problems, if negative 1 gives me 5, then 3 is also going to give me 5. I'll find that 0 will give me 8, which means 2 will also give me 8. And I find that 1 gives me 9. Now, in delta math, you're going to plot exactly 5 points. So you're going to have to plot 5 points, and then it'll draw the curve for you. By the way, this x equals 1. This is the equation x equals 1. That's called the axis of symmetry. Okay? The axis of symmetry. Because this curve is symmetrical. Right? It's exactly the same on this side as it is on this side. So x equals 1 is the axis of symmetry. Negative 2, 0, and 4, 0 are called the roots where the graph crosses the x-axis. Okay. Y equals x squared minus 2x minus 3. All right, so 3 times 1 is 3. Well, I'm going to use 3 and negative 1 and find that when I plug in 3 and negative 1, that gives me 0. So I'm going to get 0 at negative 1 and 3. Those are my roots, negative 1, 0, negative 3, 0. I'll find that at 1, okay, that is, that's the bottom of my graph. That's the base, okay? And so x equals 1, once again, is my axis of symmetry. I'll find that at negative 2 and at, at negative 2 and 4, I'll have 5, okay? So I'll plot those 5 points and delta math will draw the curve. Have a good day, say no to drugs. All right? So negative 1, 0, and 3, 0 are my roots. And this is my axis of symmetry here, okay? By the way, if you have a negative in front of the x squared, then your curve is going to curve downward. If you don't have a negative, or if it's positive, your curve is going to curve upward, always, okay? So here's a negative, my curve is going to curve downward, okay? I know that 2 times 8 is 16 and 2 plus 8 is 10, so I'm going to use negative 2 and negative 8 to give me zeros, okay? So negative 8, 0, and negative 2, 0 are my roots, all right? If I put in negative 5, that's going to give me 9, okay? That'll be what's called my vertex, okay? And then since I use negative 8 and negative 2, I'm going to do negative 1 and negative 9. Okay, whatever I get for negative 9, I'll get the same thing for negative 1. Always, that's the case. Okay? So negative 9 is negative 7, and negative 1 gives me negative 7. My axis of symmetry will be x equals negative 5, and my roots are negative 8, 0, and negative 2, 0. You've been watching the Weiss channel.